This is going to be a quick review of number 11 for the test. So that way, if you're practicing tonight to study, this is a walkthrough as a reminder as to what we did. So I'm going to show you how to answer this question, going back to that website that I showed you today. So don't forget, this is basically a multi-step problem because they want you to write this decimal as a mixed number and an improper fraction. But the key thing is you got to write it in simplest form. So I'm going to walk you through how to use this website to do that. So you're going to write down the decimal 4.6. And you have to know your place values, so make sure you study your place values. But this is the tenths place. So 4 and 6 tenths is how I read it. So I'll transfer it as to 4 and 6 tenths. Don't forget, you have to simplify this by eliminating common factors. So you have to rewrite the 6 and the 10 in terms of factors. And we talked about prime factorization. And don't forget your prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. That list goes on. But you only pretty much need to know the first 4. So 6, I can rewrite it as the product of these two prime numbers, 2 times 3. And then 10, I can rewrite it as 2 times 5. So I'm going to go back to this fraction. I'm going to rewrite it. 4. So instead of writing 6, I'm going to write it as the product of those two factors. 6 is the same thing as 2 times 3. And then the 10, I'm going to rewrite it as the product of 2 times 5. So this would be 2 times 5. And remember, the goal when they say simplify a fraction is to eliminate common factors. So you just look at the top, the numerator, and the denominator, the bottom. See what numbers they have in common, which I can see is the 2. I want to eliminate those common factors. And you see we're left with 4 and 3/5. So that is the answer I would put in Alex. So when I go to the mixed number, all you do is click here and type in 4 and 3/5. Next, I'm going to rewrite this fraction as an improper fraction. And that's when you're going to use this website to do that. So now I'm going to look at these fraction bars. And remember, the 4 is the whole amount. So you're going to click this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it'll give me 4 whole amounts in here. So let me zoom out a little bit more so you can see it better. So we have 4 whole amounts, and then we need 3/5. So you're going to scan here for the ones that are broken up into fifths, which is this one here. I'll click on it. It'll add it into my document here. And now we're almost done. So remember, the 4 and 3/5. 4 is the whole amount, and then we need 3/5. Right now, you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten this up. So we have 3/5. This is 3/5 right here. And to convert it into an improper fraction, you're going to take each of these and you're going to split it up into fifths. So I click here, and then you can see this little icon pops up. So you click on this one, and it's going to keep splitting it up and keep doing it until you get it into fifths. And I'll repeat the same for the other ones. So you keep splitting it up until you get it into fifths. Same for the last one. Keep splitting it up into fifths. Again, split it up into fifths. And then you can see we're almost done. All we have to do now is to count how many of these fifths make up all these things. So now when I add this up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 4 and 3/5 is the same thing as 23/5. And that's what you would type into Alex as an improper fraction. So you can see I typed it in, and then I can see that when I check it, it came out correct. So I'm going to show you one more example. So 2.75. So same exact thing as before. You have to know the place values in order to do this problem. Right, because they want you to go from a decimal to a mixed number. So when I look at the place value, it goes tenths, hundredths. So since that's in the hundredths place, I know that that would translate to 2 and 75 hundredths. Next, you have to simplify. So remember, you need to eliminate any common factors in the fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite each fraction over here, or each number, and I'm going to rewrite it as the prime factorization. So these two numbers. So the number ends in a 5, so I know I can divide it by 5. And 5 times 15, multiplied together, gives me back 75. This is a prime number, so I'll circle that. This one, I can split it up as 3 times 5. These are both prime, so I'm all set. And if you need to reorganize it, you can. 75, when you write this out, we're saying that 75 is the same thing as 5 times 3 times 5. So this might help you if you do it this way first to organize it. And then for the 100, if it ends in a 0, I know I can divide it by 10. 10 times 10 is 100. And I know I can split this up because it's divisible by 5 if it ends in a 0. So this would be 5 times 2. So I'm going to circle each of these because these are both prime numbers, and this is basically the same exact thing. So 5 times 2 again. And now for organization, I could just rewrite it as 100 equals 5 times 2 times 5 times 2. So basically all the numbers that you circled that are prime numbers are going to be written out this way. And you could always double check your work. If you multiply these all together, you should get back 100 if you did it correctly. So now I'm going to take this information and I'm going to rewrite this fraction. So this is the same as 2 and 75. Remember, it's the same as 5 times 3 times 5. So I'll rewrite that there. And 100 is the same thing as 5 times 2 times 5 times 2. So I'll do that times that times that times that. And now, when you simplify, the goal is to eliminate common factors. So look at the numerator and the denominator and see what they have in common. So they have a 5 in common, I'll eliminate that. They have another pair here in common, I'll eliminate that. And I'm going to rewrite the fraction based on what's left. So there's only a 3 up top left. So that's my numerator. The denominator has a 2 and a 2. Remember, these are all multiplied together, so 2 times 2 is 4. So this is my mixed number in simplified form. So you go back to Alex, and then you just type that in there, 2 3/4. And then once you simplify this, so remember, make sure you simplify that, then you go and write your improper fraction. And that's when we go back to this website, and we're going to show 2 3/4. So I'm going to take 2 of these, so click it twice. It gives me 2 of these here. And I need 3/4. So I'll look for the one that's broken up into fourths, which is this one. And you can see here now I have 2, but remember, this is 1, 2, 3, 4/4. But I only want 3/4, so I got to shorten this up. So you can see now I have only 3/4 shaded. And then to make it an improper fraction, what they're asking for is basically to see how many of these fourths make up the whole amount. So I'm going to change these into fourths. So I'm going to split this up here into fourths, and then I repeat the same for the top one. And now all I have to do is count how many fourths do I have all together. And when I count here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fourths. So 11 fourths. And then you just go back here and type in 11 fourths and you're all set.